The subtle stirrings of change in Eloise's life had not gone unnoticed. While her movements may have evaded the sharp eyes of her mother and most of her siblings, Anthony was not so easily fooled. Ever since their conversation that morning, where Eloise had assured him that she would not go gallivanting about at all hours, he had been watching her more closely. And the more he watched, the more certain he became that Eloise was up to something. So, when he sat down to pen a letter that evening, he knew exactly who he would address it to. Far from house, Sir Phillip sat at his writing desk, the flickering candle casting long shadows over the ink-stained pages before him. A letter lay unfolded beside his hand, one he had read and reread since its arrival that morning. A letter from himself offering his condolences for Marina's passing, and, more notably, suggesting that Eloise might wish to extend the same courtesy. Philip exhaled, staring at the parchment. He had known of Marina's family, of course, but they were an entirely different sort. Wealthy, well-bred. Eloise, by all accounts, was not a woman who would be easily impressed by title or land, and yet he found himself intrigued. As he lifted his quill to compose his response, he wondered what kind of woman Eloise truly was, and what their correspondence might bring. 2 days later, Eloise sat at her writing desk, staring at the blank parchment before her. She had put off writing to Sir Phillip long enough, reluctant to engage in yet another socially dictated exchange. But her mother's hopeful glances and Anthony's ever-watchful gaze had made it clear she would not be left alone until she at least made an effort. Dipping her quill into the inkpot, she began. To Sir Phillip, I extend my condolences for the loss of your wife, Marina. Though I did not know her well, I am certain she was a remarkable woman. Loss, in any form, is never easy to endure, and though time may soften its edges, it does not erase its weight. I hope that you and your children are faring well in these difficult times. Beyond this formality, I confess I find myself at a loss for what else to say. My brother, ever the responsible, suggested this correspondence, though I imagine he hopes for something far more substantial than mere pleasantries. As I do not wish to bore you with discussions of the weather or the latest ball I have desperately avoided, I will simply ask, do you enjoy botany, or was it merely an inheritance of duty? Respectfully, Eloise. Days passed before a response arrived, and when it did, Eloise found herself surprisingly eager to read it. Unfolding the parchment, her eyes quickly scanned the words. Miss Eloise, your words are both kind and refreshingly honest. You are correct in assuming that time does not erase grief. It merely reshapes it. My children are well, and for that I am grateful. As for your question, botany is both duty and passion. I found solace in it long before I inherited the estate. Plants, unlike people, do not deceive. They require care, patience, and understanding, and in return, they thrive. I must admit, I did not expect such a question I had assumed you might ask about the estate or the children, as most would, but you did not. That alone intrigues me. Tell me, miss, do you despise the life expected of you as much as your letter implies? Respectfully, Sir Phillip. Eloise read the letter twice, a small smirk tugging at her lips. Perhaps this correspondence would not be so dreadful after all. Meanwhile, across the city, Theo found himself in an unfamiliar predicament. It had been days since he had last seen Ernie Tangerine. At least, that was what she claimed her name was, and though he refused to acknowledge it, a part of him had hoped she would stumble into his shop again. He told himself it was mere curiosity, that he simply enjoyed their debates, the way she challenged him, the way her presence was anything but ordinary. But deep down, he knew it was more than that. Yet, what could he do? He could not walk into Mayfair and call upon a high-born lady. After all, he did not even know her real name. The very thought was absurd, She belonged to a world he had no place in, a world that would never see him as anything more than a lowly printer's assistant. And yet he wanted to see her again, regardless. It was foolish, but he did not care. He turned his attention back to his press, trying to push the thought from his mind. But the ink had already stained his hands, and Ernie Tangerine, whoever she truly was, had already left a mark he could not ignore.